Welcome back to Wise Guys Sports Show with your hosts Wilton, Jackson, and Julius Kizzy. Kicking out today's show, we're bringing you the latest scores from around the NBA, men's college basketball, top 25, Conference USA. Plus, stick around for an in-depth, the latest headlines around the sports world. We'll be right back after the break. And Julius Kizzy. And Julius, we're about to jump into some scores.
It's a packed house, huh?
It's a very packed house today.
We got some
a lot of surprises.
Let's we'll get to it later, but let's get to some scores right now.
All right. In NCAA college basketball top 25 action, number 5 Arizona defeated California 99-60. Number 6 Wisconsin defeated Minnesota 76-63. Number 13 Utah defeated Washington State 67-59, and Arkansas pulled off a close one against South Carolina 78-74.
A really close win wasn't a really close win. Was it 4 points?
78-74. Now in the SEC, as far as like the men's side, Kentucky runs the SEC.
Kentucky runs the SEC, so I think all other SEC teams are they're really obsolete right now. So
right. And then Conference USA men's basketball, UAB lost to Florida Atlantic 62-59. UTSA lost to Rice, 76-74. FIU defeated Middle Tennessee 59-54. North Texas lost to UTEP 60-83. Western Kentucky defeated Charlotte 88-84. Old Dominion defeated Marshall 67-59, and USM, we lost, Julius. We lost. I thought we were gonna win, but we lost. We lost.
I tell you, let's don't be too optimistic because you're the optimistic one.
I always have some.
And I tend to be the negative one. But I tell you, you got to be level-headed, Wilton. You can't you got to take the politics out of the sports. So even though we lost the close game, by 11. They try to make it run kind of like how they did against Utah.
They played a really good game, and somebody else that stepped up like he did in the last game, Shadell Millinghouse, he had 25 points yesterday.
I told you I liked him.
He's stepping up offensively. Usually, he's known for his quickness, his defense, being able to make steals and keep plays.
And then you have Ben Guy and Arma, the ones that really make the big shots, drive the ball to the goal and everything. So for Shadell to have a big game like that, it's really good to see for the optimism for next year.
Right. Moving along into some NBA action. Portland Trailblazers defeated the Dallas Mavericks 94-75. How do you feel about that?
Mavericks,
your Texas team.
No, they're not. They're a Texas team, but they're not my team. My team's the Houston Rockets. But the Dallas Mavericks, they lost by 19 to the Portland Trailblazers. The Portland Trailblazers, they have an all-around offense where everybody gets involved. But Wesley Matthews, with the tragic news last night, he tore his Achilles.
Right.
He's out for the rest of the season.
That's a big
tragic
loss.
news, and he's becoming a free agent. So that'll hurt his free agent value this offseason. But it's going to be really interesting to see the West playoffs and to see if the Mavericks can get it together.
All right. And moving on, also another big game. Now, we were looking to see if Russell Westbrook could get that, ninth triple-double?
Fourth.
On
the fourth triple-double in a row.
Fourth triple-double.
Exactly.
So
he wasn't able to get it, but hey, he was close.
He was very close. Chicago Bulls defeated the Oklahoma City Thunder 108-105, and it was because of Moore's game-winning three-point shot. Clutch.
I would rely on Moore to bring the Chicago Bulls offense out of purgatory that they're headed to, because they don't have their two top scorers, and Derrick Rose and Jimmy Butler is still out with his hand injury. So games like this is going to happen where they're going to be able to keep pace with them.
Right.
But I don't think the Bulls are going to be able to offensively keep pace with the rest of the league.
But Westbrook, he had another monster game: 43 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Serge Ibaka had 25 points. DJ Augustine contributed 10 points, in 19 minutes off the bench. So if you're looking at this is my question for you. I'm gonna pose this to you. Do you think Westbrook can continue his level of play this season?
If Kevin Durant doesn't play, I think there's no reason he can't stop.
All right. So, like Julius said today, we have a packed house for the show. We have Miss Wendy Hogue from the Southern Miss softball team.
And let me introduce my guest that I wanted to bring on, our athletic director, Bill McGillis.
Does that mean you didn't want to bring Coach Hogue?
Of course. I wanted Coach Hogue to come on the show. But, of course we wanted you, Mr. McGillis, to come on the show to answer the dire questions for our whole university.
Yes.
And Coach Hogue, you are the newest coach to join the Southern Miss family. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I love it. Great place to be. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
You spent 10 years at William Carey University, and then you bring all that experience here. How do you feel like that experience there is going to help the softball program here go to the next level?
Well, I just feel like the longer you're around the game, the more you learn to love the game, to respect the game. And no matter what level you're at, I feel like the more experience you have, the more weapons you're going to have in your arsenal. So we got a great group of girls here. Looking forward to the next quite a few years here in the black and gold.
Mr. McGillis, what drove you to hire Miss Coach Hogue?
Well, the first 3 or 4 choices declined. No, you talk about an easy decision. That's what this one was, and combination of a lot of things. But I would say starting with Wendy's values, her leadership abilities, her sort of teacher, mentor persona, and the way she is. And, I thought she'd be a great role model. She's got great experience in softball. She's got a track record of success. And she didn't have to move very far. So it made a lot of sense. We've been very fortunate. It's been a good transition, and I think we've got good things ahead.
All right. So, Coach Hogue, in terms of your success from William Carey, how do you plan to bring that and implement that throughout the season with the Lady Eagles?
Well, just we're just going to do some of the same things that we did across town for the last 10 years. And we're going to come out. We're going to work hard. We're going to focus on every aspect of the game. That's something that we're doing. I'm a big believer in live situations. That's one thing that we do a lot during practice. So those are the things that have helped to make me successful, to make our team successful in the past. So those are the things that we're focusing on here as well.
Okay. And so I know, looking at the makeup of the team, we have a lot of younger players on the team. How is that really helping us out in terms of finishing games? Because I know a lot of your leaders may be, I know it's 6 juniors on the team this year?
Yes.
6 juniors. So in terms of the youth that we have on the team, how do they actually come in and contribute and help the team finish certain games throughout the season?
I tell you what, the youth has actually helped us this year tremendously because when you've got, we're fortunate we have one senior, and then we've got all those juniors, that crew of juniors. But when you have the youth with the 5 freshmen that we have coming in and the transfers, so we've got 6 new ones, and then they're not having to completely learn, a third new scheme. You come from high school ball to college ball, so they have. Everyone has bought in, and everyone is on the same page now. But those younger players have been able to just step right in, and it's they don't know anything differently. Where maybe with some of the older players, we're maybe in the beginning they were thinking, well, this is not how we did it last year, or this is not, so, but boy, that youth, they can run, they can throw, they can hit. We got a great group of freshmen, sure do.
You got blowups against Arkansas Pine Bluff, Houston Baptist, and Mississippi Valley State. Do you ever feel like when you're coaching, you want to take the gas, or take your foot off the gas, per se, because you 24-1 in 5 innings, 12-3 in 5 innings, and 11-3 in 5 innings. What do you guys do in 5 innings that most teams in the nation that can't even do?
Well, I tell you what, those games, you ever had that day that's just one of those just really good days where no matter what they're throwing,
seems
it
like
looks like a beach ball.
Easy.
Well, now, last time we spoke of the hitting, I feel like we jinxed it a little bit. So we don't know too much about it. But, man, those days, the girls were just zoned in. And to take nothing away from the teams that we were playing, but whatever they threw, the girls were seeing it and they were hitting it well. And those were fun days.
Mr. McGillis, to piggyback off of what Coach Hogue said, how do you feel like the spring sports are revitalizing the fan base at Southern Miss? You got baseball, which is just beat number 22 ranked Ole Miss. You have track and field getting on their way. You have softball really proving themselves this year. How do you feel like all these spring sports are putting our school back to the top?
Well, first of all, before we get to that, we're on camera today, right?
Yes, sir.
Can I get a close-up on these 2 guys? It's called Go Gold Friday. I think these guys are in red and blue. We've got red and gray. Holy mackerel. I feel good about our spring sports, and I don't think we need revitalization, though. Some good things happened in the fall. I think our football program made good progress.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I actually went out this morning, watched our team work out a little bit.
For the pro day, yes, sir.
And we've got, I think it's happening in football right now, and I think the scoreboard's going to reflect it next year. A lot of good stuff going on, and obviously Joy Lee McGillis and the women's basketball team is having a terrific season and has a chance to go to the NCAA tournament. And I think Doc did a really nice job holding this thing together, men's basketball, in some very challenging circumstances that he inherited. But anytime the sun comes out, and you've got softball and baseball going at the same time, and the little white ball on the golf course and tennis, it's fun. And I think we're going to have a very good spring. I think Wendy's done a great job. The young ladies in that program are off to a good start at, I think, 12-5, maybe 13-5.
Yep.
And I'm looking ahead, I guess, to game one against UT San Antonio.
Yes.
But so that's exciting. And then, as you mentioned, Julius, the win over Ole Miss. I think anytime you beat Ole Miss or Mississippi State, it lifts everybody up.
It's in here.
You know, and so that was great. That was a great day. I mean, I went to the softball game first, then went to the baseball game, and then came back for the second softball game against Detroit on Wednesday. And people are excited when you win games like that. And Ole Miss was ranked 22nd. It's a very good team.
Yes, sir.
And it's a good win. I think we've got some momentum in baseball. And then the other sports, I think John Stewart, our new head track and field coach, has done a great job, excellent job of transitioning here from the University of Georgia. And our golf and tennis teams are doing good things as well.
Okay, so you mentioned some of the things that the football team had to deal with last year. What are some things that we can look forward to in terms of the team going into the next season?
And Coach Hogue, you can jump in. This is the other thing I left out. The Hogue family is a diehard Southern Miss football family.
Okay,
that's good.
That's really good.
Part of the deal was sideline passes for Mr.
Oh, that's what it was.
for Mr. Hogue. And really, she grew up at the Rock, and so that's been fun. But I think we're going to have, first of all, continuity, both in the coaching staff and the team. We only lose a handful of key seniors off that football team.
Right.
Certainly Rakeem, one of them, and E-Man and some others. But we got so many returning players.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a lot more depth. We've got more competition at every position.
Exactly.
And when you look at the kids that we signed, half of them are here. So this is a dramatic change from last year and the year before, in that this spring, when we start spring ball, basically the entire football team that's going to line up against Mississippi State on September 5th is here, on campus now.
Right.
Because half that class is here, and a lot of them are junior college players. So there will be a player or two or three that come in the summer that contribute in the fall, but you basically got the whole group right now, and that's a lot different position to be in than Coach Munkin's been in. And I think we have a lot of talent. I think, you go around the field, I think the quarterback competition is going to be outstanding. I think we've got multiple good quarterbacks, and not just Nick and Tyler Matthews, the transfer. We've got a deep stable of running backs, good receivers, finally have a lot of depth on the offensive line, and
that was
very needed.
And good players on defense. So I think Coach Munkin has put it back together the right way. I think it's going to stand the test of time, and I think we'll be able to sustain the success that's on the horizon.
Okay, Coach Hogue, this question will be geared more towards you. What were some of the things that you used to get the victories against Detroit?
Against Detroit, well, that first game, that was fun.
Right.
Now, around the fifth inning, it wasn't too much. Detroit was one of those teams, and their record could really fool you. I don't know if you guys knew, but they came in with only one win.
Right.
And after those games, I told the coach, I said, I mean this as respectful as I can. I said, you guys are the best one-win team I've ever seen. Right. And he said, Coach Ralph Weekley at Tennessee told us that same thing last week, and he said we just clicked tonight because they're very athletic. They can run, they can hit, and their pitching was doing real well. And those are the pitching is what was kind of keeping us a little off balance. And then once we started to make that adjustment, good things started to happen. And then I don't know if the other coach heard my prayers or what. For some reason, he took that pitcher out, and when he did, it was just the spark of hope or of energy that we needed. And then he tried to put her back in, but it was a little too late. Once these girls decide that they're going to do something, they're going to get it done. We actually talked about going into that seventh inning. It was 3-1, and we talked about the basketball team, what the men's basketball team did the other day, and what the women's basketball team has been doing. I said, you understand how much excitement that brings with come from behind victories? And I said, let's grab their shirt tail and go. I said, let's do this. I said, we got another game after this. Let's go ahead and start right now, turning this thing around, doing what. If we happen to run out of time, still, not where we want to be, let's just keep that momentum going into that next game. So let's start scoring and let's see how far we can go, without stopping. And hey, they turned it on.
It worked out just in time.